All right, how's it going, Patriots? This is 00 Jericho. Ready for some J6 news, chat, and updates. It's October 13th. And welcome to the new world, where Hamas can just declare a day of jihad. All right, how's everybody's day of jihad going today? What's up, Hilda? Hey, Sunkist, Lana, Lewis. Third of its kind. How you doing, Brooke? Good to see you all here. Yeah, we've been declared. This is the day of jihad today. Well, look around my neighborhood. Looks like normal to me, man. Not gonna get caught up in that. We got something beautiful here in this country that they don't have in Israel. It's called the Second Amendment. It's a beautiful God sky today. Hey, Sherry Thomas. Hi, Docs and Grandma. Hello. Hey, Sunkiss, Deb for Freedom. Yeah, we're just watching the, I don't know who does this? Who does this to the sky every day? It's not God. God, it was a beautiful God sky earlier. And they're just going over, spraying. There's a nice chemtrail shadow on that cloud right there. Hey, Lamont. Yeah, we had that here until they started spraying the sky. That was at like, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock. They started spraying the sky here. Got some really cool ones over here. Let me show you what we got going on over here. All of these clouds were not here an hour ago. Look at that one. I don't know what they got in the... What juice makes that happen? Pew, 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 pew. Yeah. Who knows what it is? So what is that? Another secret. So we're all watching what's going on in Israel, and we heard that a day of jihad was declared. We do know that the FBI has declared anti-government, anti-authority, violent extremists. And they're on the hunt for them all across the country right now. And in the meantime, Israel gets attacked by who knows who. Who got attacked over there? What's going on over there? It is all very interesting, Deb for Freedom. So we'll get into some real quickie J6 news and updates today. It's just another thing we got to live with around here, you know? Who does that in the sky? Who does that? It's ridiculous. And then the people that don't believe, they go, oh, that's normal. That's contrails. That's not contrails. Look it up. Military has had that technology for a long, long time. They've been trying to make rain happen out of clouds for the farmers for a long time. All really good reasons to mess with the weather. But now they do this to us like 3, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Yeah, we could share this out and get more patriots involved here, because that's what we need. We need all the people. We, the people of America, we got to stand up and do something real soon here. Our elections are rigged. We can't get rid of these douchebags in Congress right now. Republicans can't fight their way out of a paper bag. They got it all locked up over there. They can't do anything until they get a Speaker of the House in office. And it's just another day of life in America. The best country in the planet. And we can make it happen tomorrow. I mean, if we all just got together. Hey, LA Forgiven. Dodo watermark. All right, you got me this time, Deb. There we go. Let's put that up there. How's that look? All right, now we're professional. So it was another day at Freedom Corner last night. Everybody, we had the whole flower laying thing for Ashley. A lot of good donations came in. I'm hoping that they got enough money to keep rolling for another month or two out there. I don't know. And it all takes funding from patriots across America, man. So yesterday at Freedom Corner, Matt Da Silva called in, and the streamers on the corner are stepping it up, man. Deb for Freedom already has a short out for this video, for this phone call yesterday. And I believe Stormtroopers got a video out of this phone call also. And these phone calls that come in, this is direct messaging right from the J6ers in the jail. They got a whole network in there where they're getting information. And we got a whole network out here. And we got to make this happen, Patriots. We got to make it happen. Nobody's coming to save us. Donald Trump can't do it on his own. We have to get real as citizens of America, and we got to make our country great again. That's all there is to it, man. It's up to us. We make it happen or it doesn't happen, basically. So Matt Da Silva, first thing he's talking about is, wow, man, I saw like this tree outside the window and the leaves were turning red. And it's fall, you know, like just the beauty that we get to see every day out here is being denied to these J6ers. Some of them for 1,000 days now. Jake Lang's been in jail for 1,000 days without a trial. Without a trial. Who could explain that? And everyone, nobody's hair's on fire about that stuff. So, I mean, this is an outrage, America. Where nobody's supposed to sit in jail for 1,000 days in America and not have a trial. At least, man, at least. And then being locked up in D.C. in this corrupt town, it's been happening. Oh, man. Leaves are turning colors. Matt Da Silva could see it out of his window. At least he's got that in there. I mean, here's a patriot that stood up for us on J6. Saw the rigged election. Went to see his president speak, his sitting president speak, and look at what happened to all the patriots that showed up there on J6, man. It's horrific. It's horrific. And then also he said something about the haircut lady came around. You know, finally they got access to a haircut, and he just took it down because who knows when the next haircut's going to happen, right? Might as well cut it all off and only hope you get it later. They talked about Israel, what's going on in there. That is the hot topic right now in America. Looks like Ukraine didn't work. They wanted to fire us all up into World War III with all our biolabs over in Ukraine, advancing the NATO line up towards Russia without, reneging on our agreements with Russia. And that didn't work. That didn't set everybody's hair on fire here in America. So now they're trying this whole Israel thing. And Israel's a divisive topic, man. Super divisive topic. All right, I got really horrible transmission here. All of a sudden. Move a couple feet over here and see what happens. There, we got some chemtrails right over my head. How about that? Now, man, America is seeing what's up. That doesn't happen. No charges for Jamal. No charges for Jamal. It's horrible, man. Jail with. So did they? Steve, and he said bet the, but at alley or anything. Try this. This is Amish purple t-shirt right here. I get Deo. All right, I'm gonna go back and try to come back, right? All right, here we go, man. I got like literally 4 bars of power here. Just diving again. How do they do that? They do that with the chemtrail somehow? I don't know, man. Nope, it's just nose diving. They're shutting me down, Patriots. They're shutting me down. I got 4 bars here. Every time I start it up, it just nosedives. Down to nothing. Down to nothing. So I'm spinning on my face. Oh, man. Crazy. This is crazy. It's coming in, but then it's just diving off, Deb for Freedom. All right, this is really weird, man. I got 4 bars of power here, and every time I start it up, it just nosedives off. So bear with me. Let's see. All right, it's looking good right here. We'll get back to the Matt Da Silva thing. Only 2% of Israelis have guns, and this is a good reason why this happened in Israel right now. All right. Yeah, that's the first time I ever seen this happening on this stream thing, man, where I got 4 bars, 5G, everything's going good, and as soon as I start it up, it goes shut down. All right, here we go, Deb. All right, we got it now. We're figuring this stuff out. Ready to go. So, like I was saying, Trooper and Deb for Freedom have that Matt Da Silva phone call already released out on a short. And if you want to check that out, yesterday night, Tammy also read some letters, and we got some real good you say in the letters. If you say in a letter to one J6er, say, you got a word from one J6er, and he said, oh, he hurt his elbow. And then you write a letter to another J6er and say, let's just say Chris Quaglin hurt his knee, okay? And you tell that to another J6er in a letter. That is like being called out right now, that you can't, you got to watch what you say in the letters, because the J6ers themselves can get in trouble. And the trouble that they get in is that they lose good time, all right? You can serve a certain amount of time, and then you can get time taken off of your sentence, okay? If you go through 6 months of good behavior, they'll take a month or whatever off of your sentence at the end, and you don't have to end up serving that sentence the whole thing. That's how people get out early. They get it on good behavior. So watch what you say in the letters. No inter-prisoner communication is the technicality that they're calling out, like some of the letters that they're finding. All your letters will get read by the prison staff before they get to the J6er. So don't say anything in the letters about another J6er, because technically prisoners aren't allowed to talk to each other about their situations, their scenarios, okay? But we definitely want to keep the letters going. We don't want this to stop people from writing letters. Just don't say anything about another J6er or what that other J6er is going through or said on a letter to another J6er. I think it's not difficult, but it is something that we got to be very careful about. All right, so Tammy got up and read. We only had 2 phone calls last night from Matt Da Silva and then later on Robert Morse. And then Tammy got up and read a couple of letters and warned us about this thing about inter-prisoner communications. Just watch out what you say. She read a letter from Lucas Denny, and he was mentioning that he did get in some trouble about a letter that was written, and it had information about another J6er in it. So I don't know why the prison staff couldn't just, stop that before he saw it. I don't know. It's goofy. The BOP, it seems like they're making up rules as we go here, okay? Wow, look at this cloud right here. Looks like a cigarette. All right, just having some fun there. All right, and then Tammy read a letter also from Lucas Denny. And, oh yeah, I just told you that. Lucas Denny warning us to be careful of what you say in your letters. Read a letter from Kyle Fitzsimmons, and it was a letter that he wrote to LA Forgiven. A fantastic patriot. You've been here at Freedom Corner several times. You go way back, Lala. And down in Florida, there's a prison down there where Jeremy Brown is, and Kyle Fitzsimmons is also down there. And Lala, we just appreciate your patriotism. We appreciate the efforts that you're doing to comfort these guys' hearts with letters and visitations. I know you're doing visitations down there too. Lala, you're an awesome patriot. That's LA Forgiven in the chats. She's a great mod. She's on Rebecca's channel all the time. We the People MAGA. And this is patriots stepping in to wherever, whatever they can do. And that's where we all got to get this going on. And then Kyle Fitzsimmons is saying that strangers can't visit. So they're clamping down on the visitation thing now too. It used to be, well, here at the Gulag in D.C., they can have visits from people that, they don't have a whole history with. But now, like Kyle Fitzsimmons, I think he said only his dad got on the visitation list for him. So the visitation is getting shut down. And this is what tyrants do, people. This is what tyrants do. They start making up rules. They see they're losing. They start to panic, and they start making up rules. So now first they started calling us on the phone calls about having the third-party call. Well, we know every call is a third-party call in the first place because the prison's listening in on it, okay? But now they're calling out third-party calls. They're calling out the letters with information about other J6ers in it. And now they're clamping down on the visits. They're saying that if you don't know this person, you don't have a history with this person, they can't come in and visit you, okay? So we're going to have to go in on the prison ministry or something, because you're allowed to have religious services in jail. And there's volunteers that volunteer to go into the prisons and offer Bible study classes or sermons or something. You're allowed to go in there. So I'm thinking this is the direction that we're going to have to start heading with a visit. Yeah, they are corrupt, Mike Dolan. They are corrupt. It's horrible what they're doing here, man. And they're just making up new rules every day. We know what they're doing. We know what they're doing. This is what tyrants do. And then also, Tammy also read a letter from Robert Morse, who is in Loretto, PA, at a prison there. There's a new J6er there called Narayana Rainier. He's prisoner number 891-06509. And this dude needs help, man. He's a guy from Baltimore. I was able to look up some of his stuff on the DOJ website today. He ended up taking a guilty plea. And that's all we know about him was from this letter that Tammy had from Robert Morse in Loretto. So if you can, let's get in touch with this Narayana Rainier and see if we can help him out. There you are, Deb. Right on, Deb. Good link. Wow, this is nerve-wracking, man. Watching this thing just dive. And I think I got the ticket, but we're just going to have these like 20, 30-second pauses in between everything here. So yeah, all you patriots from Baltimore, they just snatched another one off your streets and charged them with all kinds of crimes for attending J6, for going to see his president speak and going to stand up against what he knows was a fraud-rigged election. Let's never forget that, patriots. That was a rigged election. We know what we saw. It has never been investigated thoroughly. And none of this, what's going on in this country right now, the border, the oil prices, the inflation, the international threats that we're dealing with right now would be going on if Trump was the president right now. And we did elect Trump as president, and they stole that election on January 6th. So as of January 20th, there is an illegitimate regime in office in D.C. right now. All right, that's about it for Freedom Corner, man. It was a pretty mellow night. Only 2 phone calls that night, but Tammy read those 3 letters. Had a lot of great flag waving. Katie, we love you waving them flags. Young had 2 flags out, man. He was going at it. Baltimore Steve, we love you, dude. You're out there waving the flag, man. There's 350 million other Americans that should be ashamed of themselves for not being at Freedom Corner. And you're there all the time, Steve. Way to go, buddy. Way to go, Patriot. And then we're all starting to see what's going on. I think the masses are awakening. We see what's going on. Hamas just calls for an international day of jihad. We know what jihad is. You know what jihad is? Did you ever read the Quran? Any people ever read the Quran? Well, here, I'll tell you about the Quran. Terrorists do not worship God. They worship death, okay? That is the God of Islam. Those are words like Donald Trump gave a speech over in Saudi Arabia several years ago. And those terrorists do not worship God, they worship death. And that's why they do what they do. That's a terrorist attack that just happened in Israel. They come in, all the smart guys have made rules about what you can do and what you can't do in war, okay? Nuremberg, we went through all that stuff after World War II. You are not allowed to declare war and go in and slaughter babies and slaughter women and slaughter old people and take hostages, civilian hostages. You're not allowed to do that, man. That's not how cool guys have war, I guess. But that's what Hamas just did over there in Palestine. And then they escape into a box where they know they can't get out of. And now we got to watch Israel decimate them. I mean, Israel, you're in a sticky situation. And, You're going to have to get through this somehow. You're going to have a whole bunch of refugees again. And if you let them go in Israel again, you're going to have the same problem in the future. So, hey, world, who wants the refugees out of Gaza Strip right now? Because they're about to be refugees, because Israel has every right in the world to take that spot of land over and declare it Israel for the second time now, all right? Israel showed restraint and allowed these refugees to stay there after they won all their wars in the past. And this is what it led to. So Israel, they got to understand. They know what they got to do. They got to get rid of these people. The Palestinian men didn't do the smart thing to protect their families, their wives, their children, their mothers, their fathers. They went in and attacked Israel in a horrific manner, and they don't deserve any mercy. So, hey, world, who wants the Palestinians now? All right? Because Israel's, I think, should be done with them. I really think they should be done with them. Wow. All right, I was watching Sebastian Gorka today. Gorka knows what's going on, all right? Islam does not equal peace. Islam is not the religion of peace. And why does everybody think that Islam is the religion of peace? Because that's what George W. Bush told you on television back when 9/11 happened. Islam is the religion of peace, which is the biggest sense of nonsense that anybody that knows anything about Islam or the languages that it's written in. Islam equals submission, okay? That is what Islam means in their native tongue. And that is submission to what? Allah. Who is Allah? Allah is death. Allah is the God of death. Allah believes, read the Quran, man. Here's what Allah told Muhammad. Hunt down the infidel, or if they submit, allow them to live as second-class citizens. You know what a second-class citizen is? A slave. You got to pay so they don't execute you, so you're allowed to exist. That's the religion of Islam. And I read the Quran. I know it. I knew it 20 years ago when I read the Quran. All right? Allah is not the same God from the Old Testament, from the New Testament. Allah is not the God of Christianity. Allah is the enemy of Christianity. And it says it right in the books, okay? It's right there in their manuscripts, the Quran. So, here we are, America. Terrorism is back, all right? Remember terrorism? I remember terrorism back in the 60s and the 70s. They went into the Olympics. They executed the Israeli athletes at the 68 Olympics. They used to hijack airplanes. They would shoot people and throw them out of the airplane onto the tarmac. This is the same group of people that we're dealing with right now. And I'm pissed off about this. Because how much money did we invest in eliminating terrorism? Okay, that was the whole 9/11 gig, man. We created the TSA, the Patriot Act, the Department of Homeland Security to eliminate and fight against terrorism, because that's who they told us blew up the World Trade Centers in 9/11 and 2001. Where has it gotten us? So right here, right now, where we got, well, according to Gorka, 16 million illegals here in the United States right now, according to Sebastian Gorka. So terrorism's back. We got sleeper cells all over America. But we got the Second Amendment. So I'm not worried, America, all right? There's no need to go running around with our hair on fire right now. Try what you did in Israel here. Go ahead and try it. Because I don't see anybody trying it, because we got the Second Amendment, and that is why the Second Amendment is so important. So important. Ridgeline, don't let your head explode, man. I know you got a lot on your plate. We all got a lot on our plate at homes, man. Food and gas, all our money is running short. They declare a worldwide day of jihad. Okay, they declared that. They said that. And then we're getting in trouble for reporting on stuff that isn't true, and they say that it's not true, that we have sleeper cells all over America. I mean, it's definitely true. We got 16 million unvetted people in this country right now. And a lot of them, they're not all Mexicans, okay? They came across the Mexican border, they came across the Canadian border, but they're not all Mexicans and Canadians. So that's where we're at, man. We're supposed to all be running around starting a civil war. We're all supposed to start a civil war over the Ukraine. We're supposed to start. You see how they're trying to start a civil war here, people? And if we patriots weren't so peaceful, there would have been a civil war long ago. And it ain't happening. We're not falling for it. They tried. They got really close to making it happen on the Capitol on January 6th. Because with instigators and undercover people, but we're not falling for it, all right? We're safe, we're secure in our homes, and we will take care of it because law enforcement sure as shit ain't doing it. Law enforcement, you got a lot. I wouldn't want to be law enforcement right now, okay? You got to walk delicately. You got to walk like Israel's walking right now. You got to understand that there are problems. They aren't make-believe problems, and they are here right now. And we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. We're Americans, and we have the rights from God that are enshrined in our Constitution to take care of it. All right, today on Gateway Pundit has got a bunch of great articles in their lineup from today and yesterday. If you've never checked out Gateway Pundit, go in there and check it out. There's a great article about Jake Lang. Jake Lang has been in jail for 1,000 days now, and he has not had a trial, okay? Jake Lang has put together a documentary called J6 Truth. In the Gateway Pundit article about Jake Lang today, it has a link in there to this 1 hour long documentary called J6 Truth, which is an excellent representation, rational explanation of what's going on J6 out there. Because we've been fed lies, nothing but lies from our 3-letter agencies about this so far. They also had articles, great articles about the House of Representatives thing that's going on. Man, I just couldn't believe how many good articles were on Gateway Pundit on yesterday and today. So if you've never checked that out, check them out, support them. It's an independent media, and that's how it's going to have to work. Instead of paying your cable bill, you're going to have to pay these media resources that are out there right now, and help them to continue presenting unbiased news to us. I did hear that there were Muslim riots in France, but all that could be just Hollywood productions they're showing us on TV. I don't know. France is very manipulated. I don't know. Can you believe anything that comes out of France? Can you believe anything that's coming out on your TV? And that's what they're telling us on TV. There were riots in France, Muslim riots in France. All right, I also got hooked up with another guy named Steve Baker, who has apparently been given access to the J6 tapes. So I don't even know where this stands anymore. Kevin McCarthy was supposed to release the J6 tapes from the security footage cameras on the Capitol from January 6th to the American public, all right? But he didn't. He gave them to Tucker Carlson and a couple other people. I guess you got to go on Twitter or something to go see what they're saying. And I'm not on that stuff, all right? I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. But apparently this guy, Steve Baker, I was able to find some stuff on Rumble that he has put out. He's working on reviewing a lot of the J6 tapes, and he's got something explosive about to come out. So let's maybe if you want information in that direction, we're making headway is what I'm trying to say here, Patriots. There was something about Officer Dunn who had testified at the J6 committee. But I'm not on those social media, so I can't tell. All I know is people that have put some of the Steve Baker stuff on Rumble is the only thing that I've seen so far. He's that lying cop witness, right? He testified at the J6 committee, and I think he was crying. He was so distraught, you know. He put on a good show for the J6 commission. The J6 Commission show, I guess we should call it, man, because it's known that they hired a producer for the J6 Commission. They put it on primetime TV. It wasn't a quorum, which is supposed to be a mix of, you know, Republicans and Democrats on there. Every single Republican that has sat on that J6 Commission has been voted out of office almost instantly. And furthermore, the J6 Commission has not archived any of the records from their investigations. So that's another thing that we, the people, have in archives in D.C., and it archives all the information that pertains to America. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. So that's about it for right now, Patriots. I don't know where we're at here. All right, we got 63 in the house. Okay, Steve Baker and Eric Clark. Julie Mumford's calling them legit. Yeah, the unselect committee. Hey, Greg Kelly. Yeah, so as long as we just keep praying to God, God is leading the way here. If you're praying to God to lead the way, okay, and you're not turning to the left or the right, whatever happens is what God is telling you to do. And if that's writing a letter, if that's sending $10 into Mickey and Nicole, if that's going to Freedom Corner for a weekend or a day, you know, just showing support and putting yourself on the right side of history here, because this is all going down, man. They are the deep state, whatever you want to call them, the World Economic Forum. They're going down. They're scrambling. They're in panic mode right now. And it shows. And it shows. I didn't know there was archives for the J6 Commission. I know they put a book out, but what I heard was that their stuff was not submitted to the archives. Mickey and Nicole are the tip of the spear on the J6 issues, and they deserve to be supported. If they didn't go down to the Freedom Corner and start raising and get this message out to America, America would be oblivious to what's going on with the J6ers. They would have been forgotten long ago. I disagree with you there, Birdie. The criminals are the judges, man. I think it goes to their head. They start to get this inflated ego. Yeah, this is just a corn stubble field here, Greg. And you just saw the horrific effects of war. We can end wars, man. We the people don't create wars. It's these global elites. It's the owners of Lockheed Martin and Halliburton. They're the ones that want war going on all the time. They've done a really good job of doing that. They've done an excellent job of doing that. And we got to get smart, America. Do you want to send your sons and daughters off to wars on the other side of the world? Or do you want to protect our borders? I mean, if you got a kid who's in the Navy right now on an aircraft carrier going over to Israel, we got our whole border with Mexico where people from 160 different countries are coming into our country. And just since Biden was president, I'm hearing numbers 3 to 6 million people came in just since Biden took office. Trump had that on lockdown. If you think for 1 minute that Hamas would have attacked Israel if Trump was the president, as he should be, because he won that election, this wouldn't be going on. Ukraine would not have happened if Trump was the president. And you know, here we are, America, here we are. This is untrodden ground, We've never been here before. All right, Ridgeline, you coming around here? Give me a text. We'll see what we got going on. Yeah, the committee, the J6 committee was not at all neutral people. And you can tell that because all the ones that were Republicans that have sat on that committee they're gone. They're gone, man. Yeah, in fact, Mickey and Nicole were a year late to the game too. Those guys were in jail for a year before Mickey and Nicole ever showed up, man. When we were in the People's Convoy in March of 2021, I knew there was J6ers in that prison, and it just wasn't on people's radar, man. I thought we should have drove by that prison on that highway that's right near there and blasted them horns during the People's Convoy. And actually a couple J6ers came through the People's Convoy crowd, man. Mickey Larson Olsen was in the People's Convoy for a while. So since that, she got convicted and sentenced, served 180 days in jail, then came out and came and visited us at Freedom Corner. I mean, we were a year late to the game, and now we've been fighting for over a year on Freedom Corner. If nobody was on Freedom Corner doing anything, and there weren't live streamers putting this stuff out there, nobody would know about it. God bless you live streamers for doing this. Yeah, Mickey and Nicole are just fantastic. And Tammy, she's right there right now too, man. So right now, Stormtrooper and Tammy are driving down to Virginia. They're going to have a vigil tomorrow night there, and that's down in Virginia at the Northern Neck Regional Jail, where they were holding a lot of the J6ers in jail there, and it's kind of nearby. It's 2 hours away from DC, so they could bring them in real quick, have trials. But the Northern Neck Patriots uncovered a lot of corruption at that jail, and we were getting reports from the J6ers about the mistreatment. I don't think is it tonight, Deb, for Freedom? I could be mistaken on that. It's tonight at 7. Okay, my bad. Thank you, Deb. Thank you for that. It's Friday. Okay. All right. And then I think I got word that the Lewisburg Vigil is not going to be on for tomorrow. I think Roy's under the weather right now, and they're not going to be there. Well, Bertie, I'd love to be there, man. I'd love to be in DC. I'm getting a lot of things done. I've been on this fight for a year and a half, man. Every once in a while, I got to stop home, hang out with the family for a while, because it goes God, family, country. All right? We got priorities. I can't let the issues on this country overrule and interfere with my relationship with my family. All right? And it got to a point where the family was saying, hey, man, you haven't been around in a long time. And You only got to tell me once about something like that, all right? So I'm spending time with family now. I haven't worked on the van for a year and a half. I mean, in order to run a van that's freaking 25 years old, you got to do some stuff every once in a while. I can't afford a new van, all right? If I could afford a new van, that would mean I would have a full-time job and I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff because I'd be working full-time. I mean, it's a toss-up. Do I go get a full-time job and then I can't do any of this stuff? Or do I live really cheap, drive a 25-year-old van that I can work on myself and be able to jump into the fight every once in a while? I know I haven't been full-time, but I've been there for a long time now. And it's where I want to be. It's where I want to be. It's a sacrifice. There's way cooler things I could be doing right now. But for right now, our country's in peril, and I believe that to my core. And I want to change it, all right? I see where the deep state is trying to point us into a bloody civil war where they want us fighting amongst each other. And I don't believe that's necessary, man. The founding fathers have given us the Constitution. We have rights. We have a normal process. And the problems that we're having right now is because we strayed from those principles. So I don't think we need a civil war, America. All right? I don't think we got to lose our minds just because a couple of immigrants in New York held up Queers for Palestine signs and you know, had a little ruckus there. You know, it's not the end of the world at all. But I'll tell you what, if I see parasailers coming over that ridgeline over there, try that here, Hamas. Try it here, man. It's not going to go well for you. There's going to be beer cans and shotgun shells all over the ground, wherever you come in. All right, Cleo. I hope you guys are all digging it. I'm having a good time doing it. I got to get my stuff in order here, and then I will be out again on the fight, you know. But in the meantime, I found a way to fight from here while I'm doing all that stuff, so I think that's an improvement. So that's about it, people. That's about it. The deep state is scrambling. I like watching them scramble. Let's see if the House of Representatives can figure out how to govern. And let's hope we get our elections back. Let's hope we can vote these buffoons out that we're watching flail at running this country right now. They are flailing. We got a couple of good rock-solid representatives in our federal government, and then we're going to have to focus on our state governments and our local governments. This is only one layer of government that we're dealing with in D.C. That's the federal government. And the problem is that they have usurped too much power to themselves. We have allowed that to happen. And we got to get on our state governments next, all right? And that's a whole nother can of worms right there. So this stuff, they make it way more complicated than it has to be. Let's try to simplify this. Let's try to keep our rational mind and focus our attacks. All right, we don't need to have a civil war, but we're ready for one. If you want to bring it, bring it. All right, so I'm hearing Jim Jordan's in, or they're going to vote on Monday. Okay, he only won the straw vote. So the Republicans got to figure out who they're going to get behind, and every single Republican's got to vote for him in order for it to work. So this core group of, you know, Matt Gaetz and Mace and Luna, and there's about 11 or 15 just rock solid patriots that are Republicans, and they're pushing their weight around as they should be doing. I much respect to them for doing that. That's not the easy way to go. The easy way to go is just to lay down and go, well, you tell me who to vote for, you know, put the guy in and I'll vote for him if he's a Republican. That's not the way to go. That's how we got to the point we're at right now. All right, so thanks for fighting through this network problem we had. That was perplexing. I'm having like 4 bars and 5G, and then I'd start the stream up and it just would die, man. Yeah, I would not be a Speaker of the House, man. I have no idea what these guys do. All right, Dead for Freedom, thanks for being there. Sunkist, thanks for being there. Thank you, Patriots, for showing up, staying in the battle. Another day, we're still standing, so we fight for another day tomorrow. This is Jericho, over and out.